Digital age, you are strange. All the time in one way or another, messages dipping in and out of mediums. Chicago, at the occult, her spine, her ways of moving her hands. I saw a white light start small, then get larger, then take over the room where Tim sat. In white, pot belly, deep voice quoting Nietzsche with a sword. The occult, they say it's the oldest one in the country. Larry sips coffee and organizes the meeting. The topic is witch. Someone asks, what is the difference between a witch and a magician? Someone whispers connotation, language. And I'm half here, scrolling Facebook. Deep dream fuck cunt, fear and loathing, her cunt is now an electric eel with 5 eyes. Goddamn. 27 likes. Let me just say as a disclaimer of sorts, I am not a fan of the deep dream. Artificial intelligence with some badass taste, psychedelic swirling, my 5 fingers with third eye, click, 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 share like. Let me tell you what we are up to. The poem begins when the dog dies, and the dog was born in 1997, before smart technology. The dog was born in 97. What was happening then? Can you recall? Metaverse. Snow crash. Learn about the Dust Bowl. The code is mimicking our way of thinking. The bed is stripped, blankets crumpled into a ball. The impulse is the left hand juts out for the device, the net, for cold data. The impulse is when anything gets too hard, like to be alone in a room like this, when the season never came right. And she's off somewhere, I don't know, maybe New Orleans. How many times a day my hand reaches for cold data, wanting to touch? It's my eye. My left eye specifically. It roams, it fumbles, falls back on itself, perplexed. It's the eye of discerning. It's the eye of inward reflection. It's become muted or knows how to nullify its own device, a construct failing because I'm reaching too much and drinking straight this cold data. In bed, on summer which comes in days, no longer a season, I read a hardcover by Bruce Sterling. I read of dissent and riots unlike any this world has seen. And I don't mean by intensity, but by a peculiar imaginative difference in tone. The writer's synthesis comments on what is here, but totally new. I touch the page and feel the paper in my hand, this book, the weight of it. The sheets crumple to the left in my bed. I touch the page and finger the gulf. Lucy and I watched Rita on Netflix, remembers when she lived in Denmark with Sophie. I tell her it's really comfortable to spend the day with her, lunch and walking on the beach. Even there, nothing feels real, and I reach for my iPhone 15 times in 30 minutes. A wave breaks on Lake Michigan. I check my pocket for my phone. A sailboat passes. I slide my hand into my pocket, puff on a cigarette, fumble through my bag. Want to know about vaporwave, data bending, and the deep dream slugs slugging up the wretched pipes of the internet? And I recall Andrew on our walk home from Mana explaining to me the deep web and how it functions, and the science of it rolls off my memory as if my mind were made of butter. But I remember his bright purple flannel and his cyberpunk shades and his bold blue ponytail as the street lamp caught his profile. I'm just a person, but it might do some good to work on some of my own behavior. If I could take some time to wash my hands and place them on my head, and take some time to look at the center of a flame. If I could take some time to hold a book like I would an iPad, and talk to Thomas as I would a friend, and take some time to let the music come to me. Take some time to contemplate the next move. There are ways to make a room bigger and smaller just by eyeing it, all right? Ways to forget calling someone you said in a taxi you would call back, and remembering now. As I settle in, the mind wants more alleys and bridges. The brain wants callbacks and check marks. The brain longs for irrigation and tubes. And I build this, not only for me, you hear? Today, mimic code. City swells, breaks, beacon. Half an inch of plastic burning. Game Boy turned into a thing that sings and what grows wings in the shade. My Lego red book bag, hanging by one strap on the shoulder misaligned, from years of doing this. I got my froyo, strawberry off vanilla swirl, and I painted my toes the same. City, tonight, you are the one Billy talked about, with fading embers and spliff on deck and half moon shines. Lailia sends me a thank you note from her GoFundMe campaign. My chest rises and falls. This is what it's like to love someone more than they love you. Brown out. Lights flicker on and off maybe once a year. What's it like to stay in the city you swore you would leave? It's not a home, I scream to myself, the voice in my head, thick cream, pasting the walls, muffling the outside where birds chirp and Thomas eats his food. Who would ever read this all the way through until the end? A life framed, just one perspective, all of it. Even the novels with omniscient narrators and complex layered plots, all just one perspective. Dickie and Junk, Sagan's Saga, Sarah Mascara, Sci-Fi Baby Hands Goodman, forever inside here. You want in? Something makes its way, a shift so profound, no idle Facebooking can quell. Now the device is powered off. Inert, I see better the sleek design, its cool black screen, its white casing, the button which recognizes my thumbprint. Coral was going to trade me a palm reading for a glitch portrait, but then her house got broken into and all of her gear stolen. Monitors, hard drives, a Canon high def, so that probably means I'll never get that reading. It's okay though. I already know I've got 2 lifelines, and one of them is very long. It's deep August. Sounds from the street are a regular thing. Children laughing. I hear him say, "I'm gonna be leaving, man." Dominic is hardly around or hardly home at all, and I am here in the same home I've lived in since I came to Chicago. At the end of it, I always come back to the same thumbprint, unfurling itself like a constellation or a net, or prison bars or stars, wedges in between the metal bars. My sign, my map, my stars, and so many of us singing stars. So many of us, and mostly a distance. Always been impressed by those that can carry the song past the verse, keep it going, and this be made into a supernova melting. I would, if given the chance, go into space. To see the Earth from that perspective, it would change everything. The Postal Service is dying. I couldn't have predicted any of it. How cold it is to live in the future. I could not have known. Not like the past is warm. A candle drips its wax. Not like the past is warm, but the future is always cold. We are just a clan of folks clinging to analog like some fucked up Philip K. Dickian dream. We are just some fuckers sad about Radio Shack and Blockbuster and the death of the video store. What else will you murder, Cloud? Even back then when I had the warmth of cassettes and I took them for granted, lonely and sad, waiting for my star 69s and area codes to hit me up on landlines, you could only hope that piece of paper with your number on it didn't get wet or fall into a puddle. Or when they forgot about you in the parking lot, no way to reach anyone then. Or that time on the Tappan Zee Bridge when my tire blew, had to wait for someone to call it in. One way or another, life moved though, without social media, without any of it. I'm just trying to get comfortable with the black box again. The one where the sound of my own voice isn't terrifying. I'd like to offer something, but everything is backed up and clogged up. Shit. I miss you. You become less like mythology every day. I feel your fragility and all of your humanness. I sense your power. I have no words, but words never made much sense with us. Born under a Cancer moon, I am the wateriest of watery. A stream in a gulf swallowed by a harbor and spit up by the ocean into the Adriatic, where a sea urchin spits its stinger into Megan's soul. Here we are again. Perfect day, getting stung. This is what is the best feeling. Labor, toil, hands full of soil and sweating in the sun. Every animal suffocating from oil spills. But when the sun hits them right, that rainbow.